Why are the Met Police struggling to recruit officers from black, Asian and ethnic minorities? Duwayne Brooks saw his best friend Stephen Lawrence die in a racist attack. 26 years later, I spoke to him about why the Met still doesn't reflect London's ethnic mix.
I think the reason that the Met are struggling to recruit more black and ethnic minority police officers is because of the history. The history between the Met and black people across London. It hasn't been positive. The Met were persistently stopping black and Asian people and criminalising them. That's a bad experience that, one, if you lived through, you wouldn't have liked it, and you would tell your children about it, and their children would tell their children about it. So there isn't anything that you should do as an organisation to reach out to any ethnicity to join and be part of your team. If your organisation is inclusive, people will join. At this moment in time, black and ethnic minority people do not believe that the Met is an inclusive employer, and therefore they do not want to join.
Your book ended on a really powerful line, which is where you said that in this day and age, a dog is treated better than a black person. And do you feel like it still stands today?
That was about justice.
Yeah.
And I don't know is the honest answer to that. But at that time, the struggle to convict those who killed Steve was immense. It was a huge struggle. And at the same time, we saw on a number of occasions where somebody had left their dog in their car and were prosecuted, and other people who had harmed and injured dogs were prosecuted within a short space of time. But yet it took over a decade to convict two of the gang that murdered Steve.
And do you think the police are still institutionally racist?
Well, I didn't give them that title in the first place. It was Macpherson who gave them that title. But until we have another inquiry, or similar inquiry, not as huge, that looks into the behaviour of the police and how they treat victims of crime, third-party organisations that work with the police, and also police officers that work for the organisation. Until we have that kind of evidence-gathering session, we cannot say that the Met is or isn't institutionally racist.
So who has the authority to say that?
Nobody, because you need the evidence.
You were saying that when Stephen actually died,
Yes.
You were saying that the police were spending so much time questioning you rather than helping him. Do you think that if they hadn't done that, do you think it could have saved him?
No, I think that he would have died anyway because of the injuries that he's sustained. But I also think the police officers at the scene did do their best in the circumstances. And my experience with the police over the last 10, 15 years, having been out on patrol quite a number of times, my experience has shown me that on many of these occasions, the police officers are just as frightened as the victims of crime. And I think in my case, where the phone call that I made was that I had seen him being hit with an iron bar, and then what you have is young officers who turn up expecting someone, a victim of crime who's been hit or injured with an iron bar, but then they see a young person on the floor bleeding to death. They'll be just as shocked as any witnesses.
So it's interesting that you've actually changed your mind over this period of time.
Well, it's not that I've changed my mind, it's a perception, isn't it? So at the scene, that is what I saw, and that is how I felt. But experience has shown me that what I saw and what I felt wasn't unique to me because I'm black.
The Met Police have admitted that there is a problem with recruiting and retaining BAME officers. It predicts it's going to take 100 years before the force represents the city that it serves. This might seem far away, but with a complex social and racial history, changing public perceptions isn't going to be easy. This is Alex Hattenstone reporting for City News.